We are back. All promoted now. Though I did notice I had to do that twice. Like, I double checked. I checked the promotion, or I checked the contact disclosure and I checked the promotion. And then I went back to check that it was all checked, and it wasn't. And then I went back again to check that it was all checked, and it was. And now I'm going to check again. It wasn't. And then I went back again to check that it was all checked, and it was. And now I'm going to check again. Yes, it is checked. Yeah, especially with somebody with ADHD, it's like out to get me. You'd think with how smart TikTok is, it could remind you, be like, did you forget to do this? Can I check it for you? And you just say yes. I'm looking behind me to see like what June was sitting on. She was literally sitting on a white sheet. I don't know how she could have got those stains on her heel, but we could just paint the arms and the head for now. And my paints are pre-mixed already, so it won't be hard to get it to the same color. Make sure I get those stains off. But like I said, stains before painting are easier than stains otherwise. Thanks for the rose. We've still got the gift gallery, guys, if you guys want to complete the gift gallery. Looks like we still need a MoneyGram, 5 DJ glasses, a Galaxy, and whale diving. Wendy, could you remind me what's the place where you can get cheap coins? Because that shit is way too expensive when you're trying to get that from TikTok. Didn't you say there's a place where you can get cheaper coins? Just Google TikTok recharge. Good to know. Is it reload? 3 people saying reload. Now you're blocked. It's the second time they said that. There's no reason. No reason. It's for their own protection. They're scared. I got too many viewers and too many comments to be dealing with people coming on here saying they're scared. Will Sis's baby be more of a bigger toddler? So neither of them are technically toddlers unless your baby's walking at 9 months. But Rosemary is going to be 6 to 9 months. And this baby is like a sitter. So like probably like 5 months baby. But the clothing size will be 3 to 6 months. Sis's sister said I was going to be there. That's Rosemary. Not June. This is June. This is the Christmas baby. There's also a baby showing up tomorrow. It's all in the videos if you watch them. But I know some people don't watch all the videos. Thank you. Yes, it does keep the paint on, baking each layer. Though the last layer, the varnishes really really improve the longevity. But like, I can wash my dolls I can wash these kit parts with Dawn dish detergent and the paint won't come off after baking, even without a sealing layer. Which sometimes I do because my house is dusty and I've always lived in dusty places, which I think has made me extra paranoid about dust. So I'm trying to like dust the dolls in between layers every once in a while. Making sure there's no pooling in the creases. How long does it take you from start to finish to do a baby? It depends on the size and the details, but basically normally a month to paint the doll and then another month to root the doll. I'd say around 80, 90 hours. I don't know. I haven't timed myself, so all of those are estimations. I really should, but I also work on multiple dolls at a time for the most part, so it's kind of hard to time yourself on one doll when you're working on two. How much is the doll? $800 to $1,400. Let's not answer customer questions. Leave those for me. Yes, thank you, Wendy. Alright, and things are a little bit chaos since she got here, but I should have some plastic wrap somewhere. How long does it usually take to make the doll? It takes me a month to paint the doll and then another month to root the doll. I'm gonna pace around for a second and see if I can find my plastic wrap. Just wanna make sure I can put some. See, my sheets are white, and that's what she was sitting on, but they are really old, so maybe that's what the stains came from. She was just sitting on that last night. I could cover that in acne cream. It's the thing, I try to get organized, then I get halfway organized, and some things just end up who the fuck knows where. Thinking about getting one for your daughter. That's nice. Trying to get the dust out of this. Putting some Zotis oil back in here. What I'm gonna do is take some thinning medium. So I'm gonna make basically the thinnest possible crease layer. On a baby this big, it's a lot easier to miss those little creases. And when flesh layers, you never want like a green layer or a flesh layer to pull into the creases. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a very thin, sort of a purplish color. So that, is that a BC color? It is a BC color. What are you doing in here? It's supposed to belong in here. Yeah, I'm gonna take a very thin amount of purple. Or sometimes like warm blush is also nice, especially for a... I go back and forth for the preliminary stuff. What happens with a mistake? So that's the great thing about heat set is you can wipe it off. Though sometimes it's annoying with something like hair because you're sort of like, you could be layering and you have to wipe off more than you messed up, which kind of sucks, but you can still wipe it off. There's going to be almost nothing in here. It's very thin, but it's a mixture that'll help me like Basically, I'll kind of go over the creases with it, and I'll just add a slight tint to them and pick up any flesh pooling, which I don't see, but we're being picky. Because that's what we do with custom orders. I'm a little bit less picky with make to sells. Unless I decide to be more picky with make to sells. I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this is a make to sell that I want to be kind of cheap for people. And other times I'm like, this is a make to sell that I want to be a cash grab. And I have to make it worth it. June is 3 to 6 months. Alright, so it's sort of like a red-brown color, but I'm going to thin it down even more. Small baby will probably wear small newborn, large preemie. Yeah, my prices are $800 to $1,400. She can have glasses like Sis. That'll be up to Amanda and Sis. This is literally just a tint for my paintbrush, so that if there are any creases that need controlling, like I'm already seeing a little bit of earth mint here, it sort of picks it up and then only deposits the tiniest amount. Yep. Big head. I think that's all I'm really seeing on the head. Do you prefer to work on live or on your own time? Either way. I think I get more done when I'm doing it on my own time, but I work for longer when I'm doing it on live. It's easy to get bored when you're doing it on live. Alright, I'm going to wait for those to dry a little bit more. In the meantime, I'm going to do a bit of mapping on this guy. You like how you fix just the smallest things? Yep, that's me. Can't stand not fixing small things. So I'm going to be rooting him soon. And basically I'm doing the lightest little bit of mapping for his rooting. And this will also give some sort of texture to the rooting, having a little bit of painted under it. Davany has that as well. And it's also nice because, like, even if for some reason the doll's hair falls out or they get a little old, there is a pattern to sort of follow. I go really light. You bought it at Sam's, right? Bought what? I did go to Sam's recently. Hey, Amanda. Do you do any other form of art besides reborns? Thank you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got the shirt at Sam's. You can see it in my outing video. Hey, girl, hey. Are you scared of confusing colors working on 2 babies at once? Nah, I don't have any issue with that. Plus, he's almost done. I'm just kind of mapping hair, like I said. Got on late. That's okay. We actually had a weird mishap. Like, I'm looking at my sheets, and I know my sheets are a little old. So my sheets are white, and I left Jupiter sitting on the sheets, and the sheets are perfectly white, but they are a little old, so I'm like, is there... Like, they're off color, but they are white. You know what I mean? You're making cups watching me. Oh, fun. If you ever want to join while you're making cups, you're welcome to. Especially, honestly, it would be nice certain days if I could just, like, ignore comments and you could go on live and, like, do your cups and I could just, like, listen to you talk. The pointed brush. So this is a Prismacolor pencil. Sis's baby is here. I just started. But we just had so I set Sis's baby on my white sheet, but I think my white sheet's discoloration put a little bit of discoloration on the heel of the kit, so I have that sitting with acne cream right now. Better now than later. But yeah, it'll be easy to take off. But yeah, if you were talking about this, it's just a Prismacolor pencil. And so we have a little bit of a hairline. Or I can actually show you guys, because we're waiting on June to dry anyway. Or I can actually show you guys, because we're waiting on June to dry anyway. The last paintbrush I did... the last paintbrush I did... damn it, I hate it when I can't. I never know why I can't turn my camera. So this is a round Princeton brush. Not really much other detail besides that. But basically I have this super thin layer that I've just slightly tinted to be a crease color so that I go over the flesh layers and make sure that none of the creases have flesh colors or earth mint, like weird colors pooling into the creases. And I go over it with sort of a crimson-y brown so that I not only pick up the color that was left there, but also leave a little bit of a tint. So do they feel real? They feel weighted real. When you like squish their hands, you'll notice it's not a real baby, but it's not hard. Is it when I do the content disclosure thing that I can't like flip? Sometimes I can flip the camera around, sometimes I can't, which is annoying when I'm trying to show you guys things. You can sort of see the hairline. And then a little bit of mapping for the swirl that I'm going to follow when I start rooting. I'm just waiting for the hands to dry a little bit more before I get in there. A little bit of dust. Look at everything. I've been doing this for 11 years. The pointed paintbrush, I was going over creases. So I have this very thin layer of sort of almost a crimson-y brown that I would like honestly wash most of it. Like I dip the brush into it and then take it mostly off the brush, and then I'll go over parts of the kit where the earth mint or fleshy colors have sort of pooled into the creases, and make sure that I blend them out, but it also deposits a little bit of crease color. What'd you say is the hardest part about building a custom baby? I don't know. I like doing custom babies. I find make to sell babies harder, personally. I guess maybe customers who give me like too much information when I'm not ready for it. When I'm like, bro, we haven't even started. We can find a kit, but I'm not going to remember everything you're telling me. But I'm pretty good at communicating that, so even then. Thank you. If I was actually painting hair like this, I would make it a little darker, but right now I'm just mapping. Gosh, he's so cute. He is really sweet. Yes, I do darker trim babies as well. I've done every color under the sun. Well, every human color. I don't really like doing fantasy babies or any of that. Yes, this baby's gonna have rooted mohair. Sort of a black and dark brown color. I'm gonna do dark brown for the hairline. It's like the darkest of dark browns. And black for the main part of the head. Got me into making reborns. I took one of those parenting and child development classes where you had to take care of an electronic baby. And I was looking up YouTube videos of how to do that because I am a nerd. And I found reborns. And the rest was history. I gotta put my brush for holding things. Here it is. Sis is getting a bigger baby. Rosemary is the doll that she's getting on Monday, who is like approaching toddler size, but I think technically called a toddler. I don't know. Some people call it a toddler. Some babies walk at 9 months. It's about 9 months size. I think the baby it's sculpted after is 7 months, but she was always a big baby. This baby's gonna be 3 to 6 months. All right, so I'm just making sure I don't have any green in the creases. I use a rooting needle. I like the Heavenly Illusions pink rooting needles, which are these. No, I'm not looking at baby pictures of Sis. Sis, this is more like we put parameters where it would end up looking like Sis, but if I were to do an actual custom order of a baby Sis, I would be looking at a picture of baby Sis. Which, Amanda, if you're still here, if we had one of those, if she had any facial details, I could possibly do that. I don't have a website. People message me on Instagram, which is Pearl of a Girl Nursery. If you tap my name in the top left corner, right under it says Pearl of a Girl Nursery. That's also my Instagram name. I really like this brush. I know, he is so cute. Hope to be almost as good as you at painting. Aw, thanks. I hope to be almost as good as Nikki Johnston one day. All right. One part of his hair that I want to wipe off, and then I think I'm going to bake the heads. So much for saving him to be rooting. Well, I didn't finish him, so that's why we're not rooting him while she's baking like I planned. But hopefully by tomorrow or the next day, we'll be rooting him while I'm baking the other. What's the brush called? It is called... It says 2 Aspen Princeton brush. Princeton is one of my favorite brands. Round. It's a level 2. I just found it at Michael's. Just one little part of that I wanted to get rid of. You're welcome. Thanks for the follow, guys. I hope this hair, I'm aiming for it to fall mostly in the center, or at least not to have like an aggressive side part, because I like the side parts for girls. And I know it's kind of silly. You know, babies have baby hair and it doesn't matter, but that's just the goal. I'm gonna go put her head in the oven. I'll be right back. Alright, the next layer is going to be a flesh layer for June, but first I am doing this. I think I'm where I want to be with that. And normally I'll do 2 flesh layers, but sometimes with toddlers you only need 1, just because there's so much surface area that you end up pouncing it off at like the perfect time for it to deposit quite a bit, where sometimes with younger babies with the smaller heads you don't, and you need to do 2 layers. This is Pascal's hair color that I made last night. So I'm making sure I'm gonna have a little bit of a painted base just at the top mostly, but the rest of it is mostly mapping. Mostly. I just said mostly a bunch. Keeps freezing. We try pausing and restarting. Hey, Donna. Yeah, June won't happen until December. I'm excited for Rosemary coming tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, Monday. Yeah, we still got her reacting to Rosemary, guys. I think she's gonna have a lot of fun with a toddler. Alright, so I'm just gonna make sure that the darkness of the mapping is consistent on the hair. So basically keeping this part of it kind of mapped. I'm still kind of want it blended as well. Or like not that dark, not blended necessarily, but just a good base. But I think I'm only gonna do this much mapping on the top, because I really want the top to look dark. Thanks for the follow, guys. If you're not following, go ahead and hit that follow. Thanks for the follow. A little bit of mapping. which I'm already regretting doing. I'm like, well, now I gotta match this and do a little bit more mapping on the top, but that's okay. There's the oven going off downstairs. She's going to be distracted by Rosemary for a couple months, I think. She's going to have so much fun with a doll that size. Thanks for the gifts, guys. If you're able to, you can send a gift. Though I just also learned, if you look up, what is it, TikTok Reloaded, or TikTok Coins Reload, TikTok Reload, you can get coins for cheaper, which I am definitely going to invest in. Because I want to start giving gifts to people, but some of the more expensive ones are expensive. If I can get coins for cheaper, that would be tight as hell. The age range of June, 3 to 6. Thank you. It's also going to get some rooted hair on top. I was just giving myself a bit of a mapping moment at the thickest parts of the hair, which will help me in the long run. Because this is probably going to be one of the thickest parts of the hair, so it's good that I went in there. Making sure it's kind of smooth. Yeah, I'm working on both. This is Sis's baby. I'm just waiting for it to dry completely, which it does kind of look like it has. And then we're gonna pop that in the oven. This is me just killing time. Switch out Sis's baby for Pascal in there. All right, pause. I can only pause up to 3 times in the live. Interesting. I can only pause up to 3 times in the live. Interesting. Coming with me so TikTok doesn't yell at me. So there's our mapping situation. I'm not going anywhere, Holland. Ooh, whatever my roommate made smells good. All right, well, this is cooling. I'm going to grab a snack. I'll be back on live in probably within 20 minutes.